When I graduated college, I was worried to death that I would end up getting drawn into a job that was like school, where I was sitting all day at a desk behind a computer and just feeling like I needed to move. I called a buddy of mine and just said, I need a job. I just need something to pay the bills while I figure out what I'm gonna do. And he said, well, I'm working at this little local brewery, and my boss just today said we need a part-time keg washer, 20 hours a week. I showed up at the brewery, walked through the door, and it literally was like a kind of beam of light came down from the heavens. I fell in love with it, and I went from not knowing what I wanted to do with my life to knowing what I wanted to do for the rest of my life within 2 days. So I started at Otter Creek in 1993, left exactly 1 year later in the summer of '94, drove to Portland, Maine, and started the brewery. The original brew house was right over here. I leased 4,000 square feet in this building. It's a 10,000 square foot building. Pretty much spent the first few months slowly piecing the system together. Got a bunch of old dairy equipment. Yeah, cut the drainage trenches out, spent 2 days jackhammering all the rubble out of the trenches. Finally, by the summer of 1995, I was able to sell the first keg of beer. I do remember it like it was yesterday. The first bar to put it on was the Great Lost Bear. The keg had gotten tapped. I showed up there at 5 o'clock and I sat down, tried the beer. I was very happy with the beer, tried another pint, and then I was like, I gotta get back to work. For the first year, it was kind of a paradox because in a lot of ways, I felt like I really had accomplished my goal of delivering a unique experience to people with the Allagash White. I guess unfortunate business reality of that is it was really an uphill battle selling this beer. I used to walk into accounts and pour the bar owners, bar managers, sample of the beers in a clear glass, and they'd look at it and their jaw would drop and they'd be like, what's wrong with that? Why does it look like that? And they'd taste the beer and experience the aroma of the beer. They'd be like, why does it taste like that? Why does it smell like that? You know, what's wrong with that? That's not gonna sell. They were usually right, it didn't sell. If we were one of 10 lines, we were generally the worst selling line or the second worst, maybe number 9. I really believed in the beer. I just had fallen in love with that style, but it really was an uphill battle. About 10 years into running the brewery, it did finally get some traction.
When I started at Allagash, I was one of 13 people, so it was very, very close-knit. We wore a lot of hats and we did a lot of things, and everybody kind of pitched in. I remember having to stick my hand into an old bottling line to try and get a piece out because I had really thin wrists. So like we didn't have a full-on maintenance department at the time. As we've grown, we've just gotten better. Our benefits have gotten better for our employees. We're giving more back to our community. We're doing things more efficiently. We're wasting less.
Things have unfolded in a much different way than I ever would have envisioned when I started the company. I mean, I thought when I retired, I'd have maybe 5 or 6 employees and we'd be brewing, 7,000 or 8,000 barrels of beer a year. And there would have been nothing wrong with that. But we certainly wouldn't be able to do everything we're doing right now. So I really look forward to continuing to grow and deliver on all those fronts that are so important to me and so important to everyone here at the brewery.